Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Recovery Rebellion podcast. My name is Tara Grace. I go by Burn the Stigma on social media. And tonight is the first episode of a new show that I'm doing called the Recovery Rebellion Nightcap. And this is something I've wanted to do for a long time. I want to have a nightly or a nightly-ish show where we talk about current events that impact people who use drugs, people in recovery, and honestly anyone who's just caught in the crossfire of our broken drug policies. But it's not just about headlines. The show is about calling out recovery culture bullshit, challenging outdated narratives, spotlighting harm reduction wins, unpacking social media drama. It's a little bit of a slippery slope, but that's why I figure on my podcast I could do it. But there are certain things that we do need to talk about in the social media world when it comes to stigma and just bullshit that's put out there. And then just have conversations about things that people don't know about, right? Because we're so blinded by all this dogma and misinformation. It's commentary, it's community, a little chaos, and it's all in the name of ending the stigma and telling the truth. This is just a spot to just put everything all out there and not have to worry about things that you have to worry about on other social media platforms. So I can't promise I'll be here every night, but I'm promising that I will show up as much and as often as I can, because when you scroll like recovery podcasts, there's just so many abstinence-based, like abstinence-only recovery podcasts out there. I want to find podcasts that do talk about things that I like to talk about. I won't have guests like super often, but I would love to have some guests on, and I'm looking forward to it. But let's check out some headlines, okay? So first up, New York just passed a new involuntary commitment laws. They're saying it's to address the mental health crisis in New York City, but what it really does is give the state more power to lock people up in psych facilities against their will, even when they're not a danger to themselves or others. So, this really isn't about safety, it's about optics. It's about clearing people off the street so politicians can say they did something. And we know forced treatment is not care, and we know how it increases overdose risk. So this is definitely not the solution. So I don't know if you guys remember that murder that occurred at a treatment center in Louisville, Kentucky, a few months ago. Okay, let me just read this to you guys, okay? Investigators say workers at Louisville Addiction Treatment Center failed to follow internal policies, contributing to a lapse in patient care on the night a patient was murdered. Yeah, no shit, you think? The investigation findings by the Kentucky Cabinet for Health and Family Services come nearly 3 months after the murder, and they represent the latest findings of deficient care at the facility owned by Landmark Recovery, the same company that was forced to close 3 of its addiction treatment centers in Indiana following a series of patient deaths. So we're going to look more into that. I'm going to write that down over here. And yeah, we're going to be talking more about Landmark Recovery for sure. All right. What else did we get in our little search here? Well, let's shift gears, because not everything is a total mess. We did see that researchers just unveiled a portable drug checking device that can detect substances in tiny amounts. So that's great. If it could be really great, if it's made accessible. In Chippewa County, Wisconsin, they are offering free sharps disposal all month in honor of Harm Reduction Day, which is today when I'm recording this, May 7th. But yeah, when I was looking at that, I was kind of confused by it, because I was like, are they giving them containers? And what I was reading, it just seemed like they were giving a space to, I don't know, let's look this up again, because I was just doing it real quick trying to get on here, because I need to get to bed, because I wake up at 4 in the morning for work, and it's already 9:30. But where? Okay, let me see this, because okay, free sharps disposal. Bring your sharps to the Chippewa County Department of Public Health in May for free disposal. Used sharps must be placed in a strong plastic container. But Is it not always free? You know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, so I'm a little confused by this, but I mean, hey, at least it's free for the month of May. I'm just confused what happens after May, but okay. Kentucky just reported a 30% drop in overdose deaths in 2024. It's their third year of a decline, and they are crediting that to expanded Narcan distribution and community-based efforts. So that's great. I'm sure we all know about the stuff that RFK is supporting with the budget cuts to Narcan, but I want to talk about that more in another episode. This is just me trying to get in the groove of doing this, okay? I'll get more in depth. In Pennsylvania, lawmakers passed a bill updating state language around substance use disorder services to be more recovery oriented and compassionate. And they're moving forward with legalizing cannabis. So this is more steps in the right direction. I like it. I like it a lot. So those are just a few things that are going on right now. Like I said, we will be touching more on these, and then the whole cuts to stuff like Narcan and what that's going to look like. We'll get more in depth into that. But yeah, I'm tired, so I'm going to go to bed because I still have to edit this, but I really there's going to be such minimal editing. And that's the thing with these, but I will get better, and I'm super excited about this. Like I said, we're just going to talk about so much shit, and we're going to do it on a nightly-ish basis. And we're going to talk about all the things. And yeah, so until then, keep naloxone in your bag, call out the bullshit, and never let anyone tell you that your recovery has to look a certain way. Do what works for you.